Draymond Green, on one of his recent podcasts, revealed exactly how entitled and disrespectful today's NBA players are. This opened my eyes a little bit, although they were open somewhat, because we had two guys talking there, Draymond and Barron Davis. You can easily spot the more mature one and respectful one, understanding why and thanks to who he was able to do what he did and make the money that he made. Today's NBA players' morality is a joke. They get upset when you touch on their character and only want you to talk about their game. Don't get personal, they keep saying. Dude, if you were not taught respect as a kid, respecting your elders and especially people that allowed you to do what you do, then your character is exactly what needs to be talked about. You're representing the NBA. I'm surprised the NBA is not doing anything about it. Let you listen to this conversation by Green and Davis, and I'll get back right after to chime in on my thoughts. But first, welcome. My name is Paul, and this is The Basketball Show, where I talk today's NBA, current events, news, players, and more. All completely unbiased, even though some people disagree, because any opposing opinion to weak people is always hating. Truth is truth, and I try to stand by it. So here are Draymond's comments. Listen and judge for yourself. I'll be right back.
You know what's crazy is people say you must respect each era, but the past eras don't respect this era.
I don't think that's true.
Shit, me. You don't see some of the things these guys say?
Man, I think really at the baseline of it all, and here's my problem with the whole ecosystem. We don't do a good enough job of telling everybody's story. And so the eras don't really get the appreciation because the media encapsulate the era into like one team, two teams, three teams, a storyline. When you look at Michael, and here's the thing, you look at Michael Jordan, you look at LeBron James, there's so many dope players that played in the era of Michael Jordan that didn't win a championship. There's a lot of dope players that you guys played against and had to go through the playoffs that don't get mentioned. Only the Warriors get mentioned, and rightfully so, champions get mentioned. And so I think the respect from the old is really, do the young dudes fuck with us? Do they know who we are? Because I think for our era, it was more so, how can we be throwback and nostalgic? And so that's why you get a lot of hate from the older generation, because they just want to be kept alive because they're alive, right? Why shouldn't their story be a part of this whole melting pot and it's not just we talking about the same shit? Or if we're comparing players, like, let's see somebody highlights, let's see somebody's stats, let's have them talk about the players that they played against, because one era always think that the other era is sorry until you leave the game and have an appreciation for the talent that you had to play against each and every night.
I agree with what you're saying to a certain extent, but I disagree in the fact that, no, like these eras don't respect us. Like, I've seen several guys talk over and over and over again, not in a positive light. Just a month and a half ago, Oscar Robertson said, I do nothing on the basketball. Yet I got a chance to put on the same jacket he put on. But he said, unprompted, like I didn't say anything about Oscar Robertson. I didn't say anything about players from his generation. I actually said something about players from our generation. And he then took it up on himself to completely try to lessen who I am as a basketball. And you don't have to like my game. But to say I do nothing on the basketball court, like, that's either disrespectful or dumb. Like, it's one of the two. Like, you're either being disrespectful or you're not smart. So you pick. And I'm going to say it's disrespect because I'd like to believe he's smart. And so, yeah, I don't think that respect is passed down to us from the other generations. But I think people are quick to say, oh, you got to respect them because they came before. No, I don't agree with that. I disagree with that. Here's another thing, though, BD.
You absolutely have to.
I'm not.
You
My
have
mama
to
ain't raised me that way.
absolutely respect the people who came before you.
My respect is earned, and what you did to somebody else don't necessarily earn you respect me.
No, I'm not saying I'm just saying, like, from a player perspective, a power forward before Draymond Green was a Draymond Green type of power forward, right? And even though you are a one of one, like, there is a Claw or a Shaq or someone that you highly respect. That's why we respect where we come from and how we got there, because if it wasn't, it don't have to be all the dudes, like, because I still be beefing with people. I still don't like people. I still think people are sorry, but that's my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
Right? That's my personal opinion, but I do have respect.
Everybody don't deserve respect. Just because you played before me, you don't deserve respect.
There are a lot of people in the club, and can't everybody dance?
Facts, BD. Just because you played before me does not mean you deserve respect. I'm sorry, but God had in his plan for you to be born before me, and you just deserve respect because of that? Nah, my mom ain't raised me that way.
Now, let me say this straight out here. I held back before you guys listened to Green talk, but there won't be any holding back any longer. Draymond, are you stupid? You're talking about Oscar Robertson, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. This guy has to earn your respect? Again, are you stupid? This guy, Oscar Robertson, still has to earn your respect? Let me tell you something. Basketball education and history is important. And the NBA should start some damn classes for you fools, because what you have just said about the Big O is so disgusting and disrespectful. It doesn't even register on the disrespect meter, in my opinion. Let me teach you a little bit. I'm a white dude who has loved basketball for years, since like 1990. I have more damn knowledge on your predecessors than you do. Saying Oscar Robertson has to earn your respect is simply delusional, in the least. That has to do with your character and upbringing. I'm sorry. Oscar Robertson's most important contribution was made off the basketball court and in a court of law. It was the year of the landmark Robertson versus National Basketball Association, an antitrust lawsuit filed by the NBA's Players Association against the league. As Robertson was the president of the Players Association, the case bore his name. In this lawsuit, a proposed merger between the NBA and the American Basketball Association was delayed until 1976. That was 6 years. And the college draft, as well as the free agency classes, were reformed. Now, Robertson himself stated that the main reason was that clubs basically owned their players. Remind you of something? Players were forbidden to talk to other clubs once their contract was up, because free agency did not exist until 1988. So before, it was like the teams owned their players. We know that from the past, and you not knowing that, saying that Oscar Robertson has to earn your respect? Keep listening. 6 years after the lawsuit was filed, the NBA finally reached a settlement. The ABA and NBA merger took place, and the Oscar Robertson lawsuit encouraged signing of more free agents, and eventually also led to higher salaries for all NBA players. This means, Draymond, that what you have now, the freedom, the player empowerment, and the money you enjoy is directly possible thanks in part to Mr. Oscar Robertson. He did that for you and others today, so you fools can enjoy the spoils he was never able to enjoy. And so you can shit with your big mouth all over the past legends and say they need to earn your respect. Who the hell are you compared to Oscar Robertson on basketball achievements and even social achievements. Compared to the Big O, like he said about your game, you haven't done shit. I'll keep going a little bit more. Robertson remembers a tough childhood, plagued by poverty and racism. When a biography was going to be written about him in the 90s, Robertson joked that his life had been dull and that he had been married to the same woman for a long time. In 1997, Robertson donated one of his kidneys to his daughter Tia, who suffered lupus-related kidney failure. He has been an honorary spokesman for the National Kidney Foundation ever since. In 2003, he published his own autobiography, The Big O, My Life, My Times, My Game. Robertson also owns a company, Orchem, based in Cincinnati, Ohio, hiring a lot of people. I don't even have to mention he was an NBA champion, NBA MVP, All-Star MVP, multiple, Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-NBA, 6-time assist champion. Damn. Robertson had 6 NBA seasons averaging over 30 points a game while being 6'5". 5 seasons over 10 assists a game. I'm sorry, but these players today are crazy. Draymond Green should be crying that the Big O doesn't respect his game and keep his mouth shut. A while ago, Shaq came out and said something about respecting his predecessors while talking about Kareem. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to be very critical of Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq said he heard comments that came from Kareem about him and his work ethic and his game. He was mad at it, but had the respect for Kareem that had him keep his mouth shut and just be humble. He knew he owed a lot to Kareem and players from before and respected them all. They didn't have to earn his respect anymore. Shaq understood he wouldn't be in a position he was in if it wasn't for the players before. His predecessors allowed him to have a position of a megastar in the NBA. They fought for him to be able to make the money he was making and to have the conditions he was able to have with other players at the time he played. His predecessors fought for that and dealt with hard times so today's players can have it easier and more rewarding. This just shows if your parents don't teach you to respect your predecessors that fought for you to have the opportunities you have, then I'm sorry, but something wrong here. He might have been taught that lesson at some point by his parents, and he, quotes his mom, and his mom probably taught him that. But knowing Draymond, he might have just chose to ignore it because it wasn't convenient for him. Man, these players today are so full of themselves and entitled. LeBron is the peak of that mountain. Draymond and others talking down on NBA greats, saying that those greats talk bad about them. Well, have you done what they have done? All we see from you guys today, most of the time, is entitlement, big mouth, and complete disrespect for anything and anyone. At one point in that video that I just showed you, Barron Davis literally tried to keep his mouth shut, not to offend Draymond Green, but he knew in his head that what Draymond Green was saying was just plain stupid. All for the sake of more money and more fame, while not understanding that the guys you decide to disrespect on the daily now are the ones that allowed all of you softies to have what you have. I'm out for today, and I hope you agree. Share your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.